The Health and Safety at Work, etc. Act 1974 contains legal duties for employers and employees. Visitors and workers must be given a site induction and authorised to enter site. Employers must provide information to workers about site rules, welfare facilities, and emergency procedures. Workers should be provided with clean welfare facilities and information regarding hazards and risks at work. Everyone on site is responsible for the consideration of neighbours and members of the public. Employees should follow a safe system of work agreed with the employer. A safe system of work would include information such as the sequence of work and any hazards associated with the task. The purpose of a risk assessment is to identify hazards and control risk. Risk assessments consider the likelihood of a hazard occurring and the seriousness of harm that could occur. A method statement will inform a worker of the safe way to carry out a task. If a task feels dangerous or unsafe, stop work and report it immediately.
The whole work site has been issued with a prohibition notice. What does this mean? Stop work because the site is unsafe. After watching you work, a Health and Safety Executive, HSE, inspector issues an improvement notice. What does this mean? You are not working in a safe way. You have witnessed a serious accident on your site and are to be interviewed by a Health and Safety Executive, HSE, inspector. What should you do? Cooperate and tell the inspector exactly what you saw. If you notice that a design detail can't be built in the way it has been drawn in the plans, what two things should you do? Only make the changes when they are approved in writing. Raise the issue with your supervisor before you start work.
When workers arrive on site, what is the first thing they should do? Make sure that the site team knows they are there. If a worker fails to report a near miss, what could happen? The near miss could be a serious accident next time. What are two possible consequences for you if your employer does not prevent accidents and ill health at work? You may not be able to work, which would affect your income and family life. You may suffer an injury, affecting your health and well-being. What are two possible consequences for employers of not taking measures to prevent accidents and ill health at work? They could be fined or imprisoned. They will lose time and money due to the cost of any accident or ill health. What does the word hazard mean? Anything that could cause harm. What is the main reason for understanding the fire and emergency procedures on site? To know where the fire exits and assembly point are in an emergency. Who is responsible for managing health and safety on site? Site manager. Why is it the employer's legal responsibility to discuss matters of health and safety with employees? So that employees are informed of things that will protect their health and safety. General site rules would not normally include information about which one of the following: names and addresses of workers, if someone is injured on site, where should this be recorded? In an accident book or record. What should all risk assessments identify? The hazards in the work environment. When creating a risk assessment, the severity of harm is multiplied by what? The likelihood of harm occurring.
Which two topics should be covered in a site induction? Site rules. Site emergency procedures.
How would you expect to find out about health and safety rules when you first arrive on site? During the induction.
What is a toolbox talk? A short training session on a particular safety topic.
What is the main reason for attending a site induction? Site rules and hazards will be explained.
What should you do if the safety rules given in your site induction seem out of date as work progresses? Speak to your supervisor about your concerns.
During the site induction, you do not understand something the presenter says. What should you do? Ask the presenter to explain it again. Employers must provide workers with instructions that meet which requirement? In a format each worker understands. A worker finds a way of working that is quicker than the method statement they have been given. What should they do? Continue to follow the safe system of work for the task. Who should you speak to if the work of another contractor is affecting your safety? Your supervisor.
What should you do if you cannot do a job in the way described in the method statement? Do not start work until you have talked to your supervisor.
What should a worker do if the helmet they are using is damaged? Replace it immediately.